All right. Welcome back to the Golf Pit, the place where everybody gets better. And today we're talking about full swing. We're gonna find out how to get to that lead leg correctly so you can rotate through the golf ball without any hiccups. Into the golf swing, as everybody knows, we need to get to the lead leg in order to rotate. We can remember the lead leg drill that we do, right? Learning to turn around it. Now, there's a big key for this lead leg drill to work. There's gotta be pressure in the lead foot. Okay, pressure in the lead foot at impact. When we start to look at the best players in the world and they get to impact with the ball on the ground, they've got about 70 to 80% of the pressure in their lead leg at impact, okay? That's when the ball's on the ground. Is not the case with the driver, right? But we'll talk about that in another episode, okay? So here's the deal. What I see when I work with amateurs of really any level is I see either players getting there too early and then having to manipulate behind the golf ball, or I see players getting there too late, okay? So there's a really wonderful drill that all of you can benefit from. It takes a minute to get the coordination of it, but when you get it going, there's almost nothing better, okay? We call this the step-through drill, all right? Simply enough. When we set up here, I'm gonna have my feet together. I'm gonna take my backswing, and about halfway back, I'm gonna start to step. Okay, now as I'm stepping, your foot is taking pressure and your body is taking pressure and putting it into your foot and into the ground. And this is then what allows you to turn and swing around your lead foot. All right, when you get to the driver, this is what allows you to push up off of the ground, okay? Those are the two big differences with the driver and the irons. But let me show you this. So you can set up here. Now the hardest part about this drill for somebody is to make sure the setup of the drill is correct, right? And the setup of the drill feels awkward because your feet are close together where your back foot would be. The golf ball is way more in front where the golf ball normally is. So you kind of set up from this position here. All right, and like I said, we're gonna take our backswing, we're gonna make a step through, and we're gonna swing through. And again, what I see time and time again is the players get up here and they step and plant, their pressure gets engaged into their front foot, and now they start to use their leg properly. It rotates much more naturally. The right leg starts to come in and things begin to rotate around the lead leg, all right? We'll help players who start to get here too much. It'll help players who start to get here too much, right? And it'll help players who never really get anywhere of either one of those. You'll notice when Kev zooms in on my finish, I get that tour toe we've talked about, right? Look at how this lead toe is up, the pressure has moved to the outside, and now my foot has really turned around into the ground, okay? So once you get a consistent divot, right, with your practice swings, all that means you're hitting the ground up in front by the golf ball. You're having a good sound, okay? Then you're ready to get in there and get going. You just take your normal setup. Sometimes I even like to have the player go a little bit wider on the back foot, and then I have the player step back. Now they're just gonna take their backswing, they're gonna step, and they're gonna swing through, all right? So let's watch a normal swing again. We're gonna set up here. I'm gonna turn to the top. Boom, and again, I'm getting pressure into my lead leg. That's the only reason I can rotate around that leg like that. I'll show you a couple pitfalls that I see with people. Getting to the front foot and pushing back too early is what causes a lot of you to have your head back up through the golf ball. A lot of heady, a lot of thin shots, okay? So you get in there, and you get in front of the golf ball, and then you push back, and now all of a sudden we chunk it, we lose the club face, we thin it, okay? So again, this is not only a great way to get into the lead leg, but the result of getting into the lead leg is now your upper body rotates around that lead leg. It gets you working through the golf ball, very much like the pitcher on the mound. He's going down the mound to throw his ball, right? We need to move downhill here to swing that shot. Now, a couple of the tendencies that I see when you guys are trying this for the first time, there's always this one, okay? Got my 7-iron here, got my feet here we go. Whoa, that didn't work out well. What happened? Well, the ball was too close to my feet and I overstepped. This is one of the biggest ones that I see. They overstep, and now all of a sudden, look at this. I would never be hitting a 7-iron from my ball way back here, okay? So I want you to have the ball forward enough where you can just barely step up to it. Boom. And when you finish, you should find yourself nice and solid over your front foot, and a lot of great natural things that should happen that you've been working on doing without you even thinking about it. So the other thing that I would be careful of is doing this step and locking your hip, okay? Because again, remember, I want to swing through freely. So what I'll see some people do sometimes is they take the step and they finish like that, right? And their foot is flat on the ground, not what we're looking for, all right? We want to feel this foot turn around. And again, if you just think about turning through and swinging through, when you step through, boom, we should get a very different reaction in the foot. We should have the tour toe up, the pressure on the outside of the front foot and in the heel like it's digging into the ground like you've seen in a couple other videos, okay? All right, guys, so if you've ever had any questions with how to get to your lead leg, this was it. Your step-through drill is your answer. It's gonna help promote the most number of correct things without you thinking so much through the golf ball.